Oh yeah,
This
the Lamar thing we should go over,
is
but we can
expected
tie
to
that
be
into
that.
injuries. You
Oh
can
yeah,
kind
with
of like go over that. Like they're
them
like
lying about
fuckery.
it.
Yeah. Um, and I think that like given like the gambling stuff and like this being such a bad look, like they will get. I think they're going to lose a draft pick and like get fined half a mil.
A
Um,
draft pick? You think?
I do. I think they'll take a late round draft pick from him because like they have in the past people fucking around with injury report and like this being on the heels of that huge gambling thing where like guys were doing stuff with injuries and like being fucky about playing time to like kind of like shave points and throw games like they're going to be. I mean the NFL is so image conscious and like they're so like they're trying to grow this,
A,
right? They want to be like
a draft pick's
the
pretty intense. I mean, I feel like the 49ers have done more injury fuckery than uh than like this and not gotten a draft pick taken away. This is
I
kind
just
of pretty
think
bad though.
I
I
just
don't
think the
know.
context. I mean, but this is a this is the highest profile player, and like it moved the line, right? Because they're saying Lamar's going to play, and the people were gambling, and it moved the line on the game when they were saying he was going to play, and then last second they didn't. Um, because even it was like what's even like I think like Saturday they were saying he was going to play, and then they announced it Sunday morning. Like, oh, never mind. Like he was just on scout team, which is like a clear violation of the rules.
Yeah, so
Um,
let's get right into this, folks. This is
okay.
this is Force Takeaways. We're doing a revolutionary new start to the show. We're just rolling right in. You're
Yeah, we've
joining
just
us
been chatting.
here. We've
We're
just
just
been
having a good
chatting it up.
Thursday.
With it, you're entering the conversation on hour 4 of our ball discussion. We're letting you hear the last hour or so of our ball
Yeah.
conversation.
My wife is
Um,
begging me to get off the phone so I can spend time with the family, and I'm saying,
he's
honey,
Jake the Snake is
football.
locked deep within a vault beneath Glendale, Arizona right now. By the way, how are we, Jake? Welcome to the program, Jake the Snake.
I'm
How are
good,
you?
man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling spry. Um, Eagles have been looking good, and we got a bye week, so like I'm chilling, dude. We got Halloween on Friday. I'm taking my little girl trick or treating. She's gonna dress up as a tuxedo cat. I got her cat ears and a tuxedo shirt, so it's like a clever, funny costume. Um, we're just having a good time, man. I showed her Rocky Horror Picture Show the other day, and she loved it. Like things are
Oh wow.
popping, things are good.
I
Um,
wasn't ready for that until I was about 19. So God bless her. God
yeah,
bless
I
her.
I saw my parents showed it to me when I was very young too, so I continued the tradition of ill-advised content viewing in the family, and I showed her that, and I showed her the original Halloween, and you know what? She loved them both. She loves spooky stuff. It doesn't scare her. I obviously
That's
don't show
cool.
her anything gratuitously violent or sexual, but she likes the music. She likes the songs. She's going to be a cool kid. She's got a cool name, so we got to get her. We got to get her living her truth early, Doug. How are
Yeah.
you?
Shout out to your daughter, Rock and Roll. That's her
Yeah.
name for all of you out
Her
there.
name is Lemmy Jane, which is a very rock and roll name. It's like a
Very rock.
stage name for like a member of an all-female punk band.
So we're just rolling right into this, and
Are you not going to answer my
we're
question?
talking about.
I
Oh,
asked
what's
you how
that?
you are.
Oh,
I asked
I'm
you how
good.
you are 'cause I
I'm
care. I'm
great.
a good guy.
I was a little sick last Thursday. Really, I was actually pretty sick, and I'm still kind of recovering from that. You might be able to hear my voice a little bit. I had a bit of tea, a spot of tea before
Ooh.
coming on, and my throat feels a
Ooh.
little cleared up
Tea
and more
time.
normal.
Low
But
T.
I'm feeling low tea. Yeah, I need some more tea, testosterone, and the filtered herbs in hot water. More of both for me, please. But a thing that happened this past week was in I kind of wasn't super aware of this until after the game was over, but there was a whole consternation about the Baltimore Ravens intentionally or unintentionally misleading the public about the injury report with regards to Lamar Jackson. He was like
Mm-hmm.
on the scout team and listed as a full participant, but actually you're not really allowed to. If someone's on the scout team, they're not allowed to be listed as a full participant. They're supposed to be out. So everyone was like, "Oh, Lamar's playing." And then Sunday came around and the backup played pretty well actually and beat the Chicago Bears. Um, and the Ravens came out and said they didn't know that you weren't. They
Are you
didn't
there?
know about
Hello?
the thing where you weren't supposed to
I
say
lost you
that
there.
someone
Sorry,
was
Tony.
just. Oh, I'm just explaining about how the Ravens lied to us and said that they claim that. What do you buy? Do you buy their claim that they didn't know about the rule with the scout team thing?
No, I don't. I don't buy that for a one fucking second. Um, the Harbaughs are always trying to cheat and lie. It's in their DNA. The thing is that John Harbaugh is just as dumb and um, dishonest and shitty as Jim Harbaugh. He just isn't as loud. So he kind of flies under the radar. Um, it's very stupid. I think they're going to get punished. And we kind of talked about this, like coming on the heels of the huge NBA gambling controversy with like organized crime involved. And a component of that was guys like faking injuries and sitting out games in a way of kind of like in a roundabout way of point shaving. Like that's what they were effectively doing. And this looks very fucky because they named him as the starter through the weekend and the line changed betting for the game. And then
Ooh.
all of a sudden he doesn't play.
See, no.
So the NFL is a very image and brand conscious league, probably the most image and brand conscious league in all of professional sports in the world. And I think they're going to be pretty harsh with their punishment because, like, this is
Because they
literally
touched
the
the
week
money.
of all these indictments. Yeah. And it's such a bad look in the context of other things that are happening in major sports. Roger Goodell is not going to let them get away with this because it could affect the image of the Shield. So I do think they're going to get a hefty fine. They're going to get like it'll be like $500,000, maybe $1 million, and I wouldn't be surprised. I know that this is like a big punishment, but I wouldn't be surprised if they dock them a draft pick, like a mid to late round draft pick for this, because
That would be pretty
they're going
drastic.
to want to set an
I would
example.
be fine with it, I guess.
Oh yeah, I would. I mean, I don't fucking care about the Ravens. What are you going to do? Eat some crabs and put that weird spice on it? Hey, I'm
Hey,
eating
just don't
crab
talk
fries.
about Old Bay like that, dude. No, I
Crab
can't do
fries
the,
sounds
the
like
Baltimore
something that
accent is
a
so
demon
hard
would
to
eat
do.
in hell. You just gotta say I'm going down the ocean,
Go down shore.
hun, and you call everyone hun. Yeah,
Come on,
sounds good,
hon.
hun.
I love you, hon.
Hun, hey, sounds good, hun.
Sandy, I'm not going down ashore.
You just
I
gotta
try to
talk like a
just
guy who takes too
I
many
try to just channel
Percocets.
Stabby. That clip
Stubby.
of that clip of him talking about being like a stereotypical Ravens fan being like, there's something about Joe Flacco I just trust more in Lamar. I can't put my finger on it.
I haven't heard that. That's really good though.
That was pretty good. I feel like I just
Good
that was a
Flacco.
good practice for me. Flacco, and he kind of has the Flacco actually kind of has the accent because he's from like Delaware. The Delaware like Philly Baltimore accent is
Yeah.
closely related linguistically.
I love it. I thought it was very funny when he won the Super Bowl and people kept calling him Joe Fluco because he went on that Super Bowl run and got $100 million, but like wasn't considered elite. Remember, like when like Pardon My Take was actually funny, and like not just like red faced bros yelling over each other trying to be like more ironic than the other one.
Yeah,
And they had like the whole like dialogue about like is Flacco elite, but they were clearly like making fun of sports talk radio guys.
yeah.
Um,
The Flacco elite thing was kind of like a pseudo sort of meme thing for a few years in
yeah,
the
I thought it
early
was
days
hilarious.
of NFL Twitter. And now, God, I mean, watching the World Series, they're like so hard trying to push the FS1 Sports lineup during the
Oh
commercials for
my
that
gosh,
with
could
the
you
fucking
imagine
Barstool show. That's all like, wake up with
starting your
Barstool.
way
I'm like, God, I'd rather fucking split my eyelids open, dude.
starting your
Jesus
day with
Christ.
Barstool and Nick Wright and Colin Coward? Like I couldn't imagine like a dumber way to wake up and enter the world.
I'd rather
Like that
blow
is
my
just
brains out.
a buffet of entertainment for our least intelligent citizens. Just the bottom of the barrel.
They're just like showing like the little like sizzle reel of all the cool stuff the Barstool guys have done, and it's like just the most red face fucking coke sweat rape face fucking goon you've ever seen in your life, like
Hey, yeah,
screaming
welcome
at
to
the
the
top of their
Barstool Morning
lungs.
Show. We're gonna try to get a college girl to kill herself.
Yeah, our next guest, it's an IDF soldier, dude. What do you think about the spread? Fuck you.
God,
Anyway,
so bad.
that's why we love our beautiful listeners here at Force Takeaways, because they don't like that shit. They come
Have you
straight to
watched
the.
the Dave Portnoy sex tape?
Oh my God, is that a real thing?
Oh yeah, it is.
You couldn't pay me to watch that shit, dude. Every time I see I can't believe every time I see Dave Portnoy, he gets uglier.
I know he's
Like
so
I
ugly and
can't
so
believe
stupid,
it.
and like,
Every time he comes up on my feed, he's like, God, that's what he really looks like. He has to live his whole life every day looking like that, and it gets worse and worse every day.
have you noticed too? Like, whenever he will do this thing where he is very like antagonizing of professional athletes and will like call them out, but it's always almost female athletes that he like bullies.
And they're
Guy
usually
hates
black.
women. He's a pig. He's a
Yeah,
freaking pig, dude.
that's why he's an
I'm a
Indiana
girl's
Fever
dad.
fan. The way he was during the Indiana Fever playoffs, and he's like wearing like the jersey and the shorts and stuff, and it's just like red face is just like screaming like, "Oh my god, it's so
Well, he like
revolting to
called
look at and think
Angel
about."
Reese like a piece of shit. He's like, yeah, I told her she was like a piece of shit and a trash person. It's like, man, like you just have an issue with women because like your wife cheated on you and like you can't control women like you want. And it's like, so you just have a fucking problem. Like
His wife
you can
cheated
make
on
all
him.
them. Yeah, she fucked like her soul cycle instructor and left him.
That's so
Um
cool. That's
and
so. Thank you for telling me that, dude. That lifted me up.
he's such a piece of
You
shit and
lift
like
me
all the money in
up.
the world will not make him appealing to women. And like he has to spend all his money on escorts and stuff because he's a loser. Um, and I don't care how rich or influential he is, he fucking sucks. And yeah,
Yeah,
he's like, I would like if I ever brought Joe on the cross, I would like bill him as like a date rape advocate because that's like his vibe. But anyway, I digress.
anywho, the Ravens,
Yeah, I
they're in
think the
big
Ravens are
trouble.
cooked.
Yeah, Harbaugh's
But
saying
wait,
it's an honest mistake that he didn't know about that. But
nothing the
the fact
Harbaughs
that
do
he
is
was
honest.
the fact that he was named the starter makes that kind of bullshit, right? Like if it was an honest mistake about the scout team thing, they would have been like, well, no, he's not the starter. He's on the scout team. Oh, whoops, sorry, we did the no. You're
Sorry, we
yeah.
were lying to you to get a
He's
competitive advantage. It's
he's
not
he's
cheating. We were just being dishonest so we could win.
and
But that's not cheating.
it's an
Okay.
extra shame because I really wanted the Bears to beat them to punish them for doing
Oh,
what
I
they did.
wanted the Bears to really fuck them in
That
the
game was
ass.
that game was really ugly. The Bears were penalized constantly. Caleb got like multiple intentional groundings that were like 100% his fault, and Ben Johnson kind of like I don't want to say called out the team, but he had a comment that was making the rounds here in Chicago where he was basically like, "Look, we've done everything we can do as coaches with the penalty things. Like that, we know about it, the players know about it. None of us like it. He basically saying like the players just keep fucking it up, dude. Like
They
we
got to
don't
be
know what to
better,
do."
yeah. Um, but speaking of the
It didn't even
Ravens,
really seem that mean spirited. To me, it didn't come off as like throwing the players under the bus type of thing. It was kind of just like frustration,
no,
just being
there's
like,
a
I don't know
difference
what else to
between
do.
like throwing a player under the bus and like demanding accountability.
Like what
And
Woody
like,
Johnson did.
yeah, Woody Johnson is such a piece of shit. I don't even want to talk about that guy. Fuck him. His team sucks, and Jets fans are miserable, and it's all his fault. Um, but speaking of the Ravens, there's a lot of Mark Andrews trade buzz, which kind of surprises
Yes,
me. Um, because I feel like over the last 5 years, he has definitely been in like top five tight ends conversation. And he has one bad drop in the playoffs to cost him the game,
really
probably.
bad drop.
Um, yeah, it sucked. And he had a slower start to the year. He's not playing like former Pro Bowl tight end that he is. So there's a lot of trade buzz. People are saying that Mark Andrews will get moved, which kind of surprises me because it seems like the Ravens are in like a win now window with the way their team is constructed, especially on defense, and like they don't really have like pass catchers. Like their big solution to like bringing in a pass catcher was like signing 32-year-old, 33-year-old, 32-year-old DeAndre Hopkins over the offseason, who is, as the kids would say, cooked. Um, so what do you think? Do you think Mark Andrews gets traded? And like, would you like to discuss maybe some other players we think are going to get traded?
Well, the Mark Andrews one is one of the ones that kind of surprises me the most because I'm sitting here looking at the Ravens, receiving numbers, all their receivers, and he's the second leading receiver on the team. with 24 receptions for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I'm thinking like, oh well, they have that other tight end on the roster that they really like a lot,
Isaiah
and you
Likely.
know he was kind of emerging last year and kind of like sharing targets with Mark Andrews, but Isaiah Likely's way down here. He hasn't even been a starter for all the games he's played in. He's only started 2 games and has just 5 receptions for 26 yards. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, what if I mean, the coaches know more than me, obviously, and maybe they have stuff up their sleeve. But is he suddenly going to get a bazillion more targets if Mark Andrews gets traded after everything, all the struggles their offense has gone through this year? I don't know. That I mean, they could certainly get something nice for him. Maybe they could swing into some other
Right.
receiver or something like that. But yeah, I would
Or
be
a
a little
defense
surprised
help.
to see Mark Andrews gets to get moved from the Ravens. To
I
be
would be
honest.
surprised, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And this has been kind of the narrative for a few weeks now. So nothing would surprise me in this league at any point. I know the Rams need a tight end. The Eagles definitely need a tight end. Mark Andrews is in like the last year of his contract in terms of guaranteed money, right? So like the last little bit of money against the cap. Um, so I don't know. I think the Rams are probably like one of those teams that would take a big swing like this. They don't hesitate to bring in a high profile type of dude. Um, the Broncos are also a huge tight end needer.
Oh well, they already
They
signed Mercedes Lewis, so they're all good on that actually.
41-year-old Mercedes Lewis. Um, I also think David Njoku is kind of a trade candidate. Like when we're talking about productive, bigger name tight ends, they really like Harold
Now,
Fannin Jr. Njoku is getting older. He's on the last year of his deal, so it would be like kind of like a low risk, like high return type of trade. And like I would, he is a very athletic, field stretching, vertical threat tight end, and I would really like him in that system. In
yeah,
Denver, I think he would give that offense more dimension. Mark Andrews would too. He's a great receiving tight end, but is also like a pretty good inline blocker. Um, I feel like Mark Andrews is like a Sean Payton guy too, right? Like he's a hardworking white guy, and Sean Payton loves dudes like that. Um,
and
it's
yeah,
true.
Joker seems like one of the most likely trade candidates. Like I would be 0% surprised if he was moved. He
Yeah, I wouldn't
was
mind seeing him in
brought up
Philly, but
a
he can't
lot.
block either.
Mm.
Eagles need a blocking tight end so bad.
He is
Um,
29.
But yeah, those are like
Um,
the tight ends. I think could move. I wouldn't be surprised if either of those guys end up in L.A. or Denver or even like a how you say Philadelphia would be good. And then I don't know. Jake Ferguson is playing very well, but like the Cowboys are always have been linked to Mark Andrews as well, because they're always making like stupid moves they don't need, right? Like they don't like they really need help on defense. They need a cornerback. They need a pass rusher either on the interior or on the edge. Like they're so desperate for
yeah, which
pass
means they're
rush,
going to
but
sign a fullback.
exactly right. And like people be like, yeah, Mark Andrews. Like I can see Jared being like, yeah, Mark Andrews. He's a Pro Bowl tight end. Like trying to justify it. Like why are y'all complaining? Like I got you a Pro Bowler. Um, but yeah, I got a list of other guys. Do you want to talk about some other guys, maybe?
Yeah, hit me with some
You
other
know,
guys. So the one guy, another guy, just for me that is just comes up a lot on these lists that seems very likely to be out the door is Jacoby Myers from the Raiders.
yeah.
Would you like him on
Jacoby
the Eagles?
Myers. I would not. I don't want. I think if the Eagles are going to add anything else, we need someone on the edge. We need a cornerback. Like we just traded for Michael Carter, who is a very good nickel kind of slot cornerback that played for the Jets. Very productive guy. Or a tight end. We really need a tight end that can block.
Mm.
They've been bringing Fred Johnson in, a swing tackle, like reserve offensive lineman, and 12 personnel. And like that's why you saw the run game get popping against the Giants. But I would just love it if they brought back like Jack Stoll, who is on that team, a very good run blocking tight end. Mark Andrews would be cool just because I fucking love Mark Andrews because he went to OU. He's a good blocker. Like I think like Dallas Goddard is hurt a lot, so like if Goddard goes down again, Mark Andrews can kind of just like pick up his production in the offense. But I really want an edge or like an outside corner. But those are a little bit harder to find right now. But we'll see what Howie can cook up. There is a rumor right now that the Eagles are trying to trade 3 first-round picks for Miles Garrett, um,
Mm.
which is just like insane. My buddy that's a Browns fan, my buddy Connor actually texted me today, like a clip from like local Cleveland like sports radio. Like they're, I think Mary Kay Cabot like was reporting it too. So like
Go!
she tapped in. Um, I would love that move, but I think it would like absolutely destroy our like long-term cap situation. I don't think that we could afford it. I think that it's very cost prohibitive, but like if you bring in Miles Garrett on the edge of that defense, like I'm not worried about our secondary as much. Like just go ahead and sign Stephon Gilmore. He's old. I don't know if he can still play, but he's a body back there, can play outside corner. If we have Miles Garrett coming off the edge, playing next to Jalen Carter, Moro Jomo, and even like Jordan Davis, and we're getting Nolan Smith back, Brandon Graham's in the mix, like I don't see quarterbacks being able to like, get passes off very well against a pass rush like that. That would be fucking awesome. It's a move I would make in Madden. It's a move I have made in Madden in past years.
I
I,
have and
I
I
am a
will.
Miles. I'm a Miles Garrett liker. Um, he also is like had that very public meltdown against the Patriots last weekend, where like it was pretty funny. Like Fox was showing like Miles Garrett 5 sacks in a game, like new Browns record, and like they're like, yeah, he's just so elite, but he's on the sideline like throwing his helmet, like just
After losing
freaking
like
out because they're getting their ass whooped so bad, and it's like, man, like what you signed up for. You wanted the money, you got the money. You knew what the Browns deal was. You kind of chose money over wins by taking that deal, which is like, yeah, like if I was a player in that position, the most physically and athletically talented defensive lineman to ever play the game, like, yeah, like get your $230 million. Absolutely, without a doubt. Get that money that's going to change your great grandchildren's lives. Like, that is amazing. Do that. Secure the bag, as they like to say. Get that
as
bag,
50
son.
Cent likes to say.
Yeah, get that guap, racks on racks. Um, but with that comes like knowing that you're playing for an incompetent, like snake bitten franchise that isn't ever really going to be a contender or maybe even make the playoffs while you're in your prime. So like when there's a huge percentage of the salary cap, like it's going to be hard for them to bring in players to like build out a full roster. So like maybe don't throw a fit and enjoy your money because like you made the cynical money decision, and that's
That
okay. Like I would do the same thing.
that was kind of that was my initial reaction too, and I still kind of feel like that a little bit. But in the days that have passed since that game happened and that those reactions were coming out, I think he is a little justified in being upset at how bad it has gotten here. Like maybe he was a bit of a fool if the Browns were like, bro, no, bro, we're gonna be so good this season, bro. Sign with us, bro. I promise, bro. Just one more year, bro. Like if he fell for that, maybe he's kind of dumb. But I think after they traded Joe Flacco, he's allowed to be a little bit mad because that kind of signal
Yeah.
that they're like that they because before that you could reasonably be like, hey, I don't know the Browns, they might be able to string together some wins with this really good defense with Joe Flacco and yada yada yada, and then they they completely let all the air out of the room by doing that, and kind of like there were comments from players on the team, including Miles Garrett, I think, before that week before they traded Joe Flacco, of people saying like, we're really glad to have Joe here to teach these young quarterbacks, and like he's perfect for what we need right now. And then they just got rid of him. So I feel like the many players on the team probably feel like the rug got pulled out from under them, even if they didn't think they were going to be serious, real Super Bowl champions. They were like, we're going to be contending late in like December and stuff. So I think he's a
Sure.
little justified to be mad now at
Yeah,
this
sure.
point in the
But
season.
like this isn't like out of character for the Browns to do
No, no,
something stupid and shitty like that. Like that's all they do. They do not have a front office or executive personnel members that make competent
no.
decisions. And like this is not a newer development. This is who they've been even before he got with the team. So it's like
Before he was born.
like I think he has less room to complain about them, like, kind of like punting on the offense and just like, all right, let's just like tank, and like it kind of feels like they're doing a soft tank without saying it by starting Dylan Gabriel and moving on from their vet that gives them a fighting chance, because this is what they do. Like they Jimmy Haslam wants to fucking sell jerseys. Like he wants to sell tickets. Like he doesn't care about putting together a winning product. Like he is literally a criminal businessman. And like so for him to make an ethically questionable decision and like meddle in this is not like a surprise. So like you signed up to be with this organization that is led by those people. So it's like, I don't know, give me a break.
The
Um,
Haslam crime family.
Right? It's not like you're playing for a team having like an epic collapse. Like kind of like if he was in that situation with like the Ravens, I think you could justify like, man, like this was my shot. Like we were Super Bowl favorites. Even like a team like the Vikings who like have all this injury bad luck where it's like we're down two quarterbacks, and well, are we going to start the guy that we showed so much faith in and talked up all off season or not? And like we kind of hung up Carson Wentz to get hurt, and like that's a
Oh,
whole nother conversation we can have on a different time. But like I think Kevin O'Connell, like the public opinion is shifting on him because he
mhm.
really did like, regardless of if Carson was demanding to stay in the game or not, like he put him in a situation to get hurt, and he knew, you could tell he was in pain and that he was not effective and was risking his health. You just kind of kept him in there, and then kept calling these plays for him to get his ass kicked, kept calling like quarterback draws down 3 touchdowns, like, and acting like an asshole about it. Like it feels like his mask is slipping a bit. And like 6 months ago, he was the darling of NFL coaches and this quarterback guru, and now he seems pretty incompetent. Like if there was a situation that you were in like that, yeah, like throw a fit and get mad, like it's frustrating. But like, come on, man, like. You took all that money. You made this deal with the Browns. You know how they operate. You've spent your entire professional career with them. Um, it's not like you're Jacoby Myers who's going to get traded to the Patriots and live by the Patriots way. How about that segue? How about that transition right there? Um, but yeah, I think Jacoby Myers to the Pats would be cool. I have another really good friend named Anthony who is a Pats guy, and he
Nice.
loves Jacoby Myers is like his favorite Patriot of recent memory. So like
Really?
that would be good for him. Oh yeah, Jacoby Myers is a big fan favorite in New England with Pats guys.
That's cool.
Um, I don't know. I'm kind of coming around on the Pats and Drake May, and it would be very
Dude, me
cool if they got
too.
some weapons. I know AJ
I
Brown has been linked to them. I don't think the Eagles are moving on from AJ Brown. I don't know what his deal is. Like things are going his way, and he's getting what he wants. They're running under center play action, um, like he wanted them to, and he's getting a lot of targets. But he still seems to be unhappy and posting stuff online. He just seems kind of like a malcontent. If we do trade him, hopefully you package him for something cool, like I don't know, a first round pick and Jalen Waddle to the Dolphins, or like 2 first round picks and AJ Brown for Miles Garrett and a second rounder would be sick. Like I don't know. Um, I don't think he moves though. I think if we're talking high profile guys to get moved, I think Max Crosby is bigger. Um, possibility. Even I know the Raiders said that they weren't going to move him. They told him they weren't going to move him, but every player is available if they get the right price. Max Crosby is 28. Now that the with Aiden Hutchinson's deal and Miles Garrett's deal earlier this year, he is on a very like team friendly, like more or less cost controlled contract. Um, he's 28. He's getting to the point of his career where like he has a couple. He's in his prime. Edge rushers age gracefully, so he probably has another 2, 3, 4 years maybe of elite level production. But he's probably going to want to get out of Vegas. Like that situation is really bad there, and there's no end in sight. They just overhauled
yeah,
the coaching staff and brought in all of Pete Carroll's guys, and like
all his
it's more or
sons.
less Antonio Pierce. Yeah, like all the Carroll boys are in there. They're caroling. Um, Max Crosby to an edge needy team would be interesting, I think. I'd love to see him in Midnight Green. I would hate it if he got traded to a team like the Cowboys, but he seems like the ideal cowboy just because of like
No.
his attitude and the tattoos and shit. Are there any other teams that you can think of that might need some edge help? I know the Niners, who are against all odds, Um, Still like in contention in the West and like are looking like they're going to be a playoff team despite like a huge rash of injuries. Um, Bryce Huff has been out. A couple of their other edge guys have been hurt. Nick Bosa is out for the year. I think Max Crosby would be a plug and play guy in that defense. What do you think about Max?
I think Max Crosby getting moved it would have the same sort of message as the Joe Flacco move for the Raiders. It would be them clearly giving up and being like, "All right, it's over. Sorry,
And they're
we're
one and
we're
seven or
we're
two and
starting
six.
we're starting everything over." Yeah, I know, but the expectations going into the season was that with Geno Smith and Pete Carroll, we were going to like revamp whatever, and that clearly has not happened, not even come close to happening.
No, I don't think
So
Carroll
do
finishes the year. I think he gets
yeah.
fired.
Yeah, I
Um,
think if Max Crosby is out, then they're probably moving on from everything because this whole thing has absolutely not worked. And the fact that he brought in Tyler Lockett, didn't the Raiders just sign Tyler Lockett recently
they
too?
signed
Like
Tyler
there's
Lockett. Yeah, he got his release um, from the Titans, which like kind of surprises me. Like I'm kind of surprised that like a team like the Steelers or the Bills didn't kick the tires on a Tyler Lockett. He's not the guy he used to be, but he's still a very good route runner and a good possession receiver that can get open in the middle of the fields. And like
the
the
Bills would be a
Bills
nice
need all
target
the help
for
they can
for
get. The
Max
Steelers
Crosby.
need a pass catcher. Even a team like the Broncos could use another pass catcher. I think they have a good unit, but like they're a legitimate contender in the West, and I think bringing in another guy would definitely benefit them. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like,
I'm not so sure there's going to be
I think the
like
Raiders are sellers. Like, and I think Max
yeah
Crosby is their most valued asset, who's at a point in his career where he's only going to devalue from here. He's on a big contract, so if they're gonna do this rebuild, like, and they probably should, right? Like, it would behoove them to move him for picks um, and just kind of acquire more assets to rebuild for the future because they're not in the place where they're going to be competitive in the next 2 years. It doesn't seem like they need to
no
draft and develop talent. Like it would just make most sense for the future. And like he's only going to devalue every year at this point at his age. Um, but he's at the peak of his production. He's on a good contract, like a team friendly deal compared to the rest of the market. So I think it makes sense for them to move him. If I was him, I would want to get moved. I would want to be a contender.
yeah
He's like one of the top three edge rushers in the game. Top five at very least, depending on like how that argument goes for you, how you rank those guys. Um, but yeah, if I was Max, I'd want out of there. I'd want to go to a team that's going to be making like a legitimate Super Bowl run, and like a lot of contending teams, or not necessarily contending teams, but a lot of like teams eyeing a playoff berth need edge help. Like there's a huge demand for edge rushers and corners right now. So it really is a buyer's market. So like if I was Max, I would be doing everything on my end to push my way out of Vegas and like go and try to get a ring or at least be around a winning culture.
yeah yeah. I would like seeing him on the Bills would be cool. If I would like to, if there's any
Yeah, Ed
team that I
Oliver's
would
out.
if there's any team that I would like to see make like a big move, it's the Bills. Because I think their roster's a little bit lacking in a handful of areas, and they know that they need to maximize every season with Josh Allen that they can, especially in a kind of a topsy turvy AFC year.
Okay, so what moves would you make for them? What are some trades you would eye for the Buffalo Bills? The Lions need edge help too. I know they have
Yeah,
one of the best edge rushers in the league, but they have a lot of injuries on defense and like getting another, Pro Bowl caliber or like superstar caliber type of edge rusher across from Aiden Hutchinson would make them so frightening. Could you
yeah.
imagine that? Like, just like you get like a really clean cut white guy and then like a disgusting, like kind of like white trash guy on either edge. And it's like the yin and the yang.
Pick your poison. Yeah, Jalen Phillips could be a target for the Bills. That would be nice.
Okay.
Reek Wallen
Maybe a
maybe a
Bradley
target.
Chubb.
Yeah, Bradley Chubb. Just some type of cornerback safety, uh, somebody or an edge rusher or even an interior lineman. I
Hmm.
mean, Jeffrey Simmons is listed on this trade candidate thing, but the Titans are out there saying that he's
Yeah, the Titans
immovable.
have said he's off limits, but again, it's like I think the only player that they should hold on to is Cam Ward, and like I would put Chimere DK on that list because he's playing out of his
Right.
mind. Jeffrey Simmons is also 28. Um, he is like very quietly having an insanely productive year as an interior pass rusher too. He's probably one of the better interior pass rushers in the league. I love him. He's one of my favorite players in the league.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Um, yeah, he's a badass. He's
Him and
also on
Devon.
a very affordable contract. Um, he's only going to devalue from here too. So if you can get a second or a third for him, like I don't know, maybe if someone's desperate enough a first, like I don't think that's going to happen though. I think a second is the best you could get for a guy like Simmons, and there'd probably have to be a little pick swap action there. Like you give a mid round and they get a second back. Um, I think the Ravens definitely need pass rush help too on the interior and on the edge.
Mhm.
So a guy like Simmons, a guy like Crosby would work. Um, I don't know, man. It's confusing because there are teams that, like a team like the Falcons, like I don't really understand what's going on with them. It feels like one week they look like okay, maybe they can win the NFC South and make a playoff push, and then the other week they're completely inept on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
But they could absolutely use an edge rusher.
they're definitely the most like Jekyll and Hyde team in the
Hmm.
NFL.
Jermaine
He's
Johnson is also a candidate to get moved
the
from the
thing is that
Jets.
this week might really, this weekend of games and next weekend's games, obviously, because the trade deadline's not till the 4th. Oh no, yeah, just this coming weekend is the
Yeah,
only
this weekend is
only
gonna.
set of
Yeah,
games. There could be some teams who's made some of what we've said completely irrelevant here today because some teams might be like, all right, we're not contenders anymore. Some teams might be like, hey, well, actually, we are
right. Yeah,
contenders
we're
and we
not
want to.
sellers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's a
so
team like? Do you think the Jaguars, if they lose this weekend, do they maybe sell? I know there's been
oh,
a little smoke around Trayvon Walker, who's like wasn't a first overall pick a few years ago. Um, hasn't really played up to the first overall pick status, but is still like a very productive, like 10 sack guy. They have said they're not going to move him, but if they lose again and they can get future picks, they got a haul from the Browns. Like maybe they want to move on from Trevor Lawrence and package some picks together and move up in the draft next year if they fall in love with a guy. Maybe they want to rebuild their O line, get some more pass catchers. Brian Thomas Jr. could also be a um, a trade candidate for them. He seems like he
Liam
does
Cohen has
not
come out
fit.
and said that he's not getting traded, but of course that could mean nothing. But
Yeah,
that
that
did
means
happen.
nothing though. Like coaches say shit like that all the time, right? Like he just does not work in that Liam Cohen system at all. Like he's like running those deep digs is not like playing to his strengths. He's not been productive. Like when they kind of change the play design and like give him different routes is when you see him thriving. He's a field stretcher, deep ball guy. So having him like work the middle of the field and like run those digs is and which is kind of how Liam Cohen's system thrives. He's not that kind of receiver. So I could see them moving on from him. He has kind of been rumored to the Eagles too. I don't think the Eagles necessarily need to bring in another receiver. They did just trade John Mechie and a pick to get Michael Carter, slot corner from the Jets. But
A thing I think people need that I always want to bring up whenever we talk about Brian Thomas Jr. is that he had his best games with Mac Jones as
yes,
quarterback
he does
of the
not play very well
Jaguars.
with. He doesn't really have that vibe with
He doesn't have good
Trevor.
chemistry with Jeff.
Um,
No.
Mac
So
Jones is kind of balling out in San Fran right now, and they could definitely use more pass catchers on that team. It's like Juwan Jennings and then my wife's cousin are like, what's his name again? I can never remember his name. That white boy that got shot for his Rolex.
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, Ricky Pearsall. Um, those are and Kendrick Bourne is like having a crazy productive year for them somehow. Like they could use like higher end like field stretching guy for sure. Brandon Ayuk's not back yet.
Yeah,
Um,
the teams whose trade deadline decisions are going to be most affected by the games this weekend, I think, are the 49ers and the
mhm.
Bengals.
Yeah.
The Bengals the most obvious one.
Do you think they
But
find if they lose? Do you think they finally move Trey Hendrickson? I don't see that happening. Um, I
I
think
just
out of spite, I don't think they're going to move Trey Hendrickson. I
I
think
don't
they're
think
going to
so
let him languish
either.
on this roster and then hit the market. Like if they were going to move him, if they were serious about moving him, they would have done it earlier. I just feel like he's lost value. He's not having like he's
Yeah.
having a productive year, but he's not, he led the league in sacks 2 years in a row. He had back-to-back years with 17 and a half sacks. He's now 29, 30. So it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get a huge haul for him. I don't see Trey Hendrickson moving. I think a guy like Jermaine Johnson from the Jets has higher upside. He's younger, he's productive. I think that's a guy that is a better candidate to get moved. I think Philadelphia would be a very good fit for Jermaine. I think Baltimore would be a good fit. San Francisco would be a good fit. Um, Maybe even like Detroit, putting him on the opposite edge against the opposite of Abe Hutchinson would really help that pass rush too. What do you think? Like if you were trading for an edge, would you want Trey Hendrickson, who like you're maybe gonna have to pry out like a bad tooth, or would you maybe want to go for Jermaine Johnson and like only part with like a th- a third, a second, or a third round pick, right?
Yeah, if I was a desperate team that needed a pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson, it's kind of too late for that because now the Bengals are going to be asking for so much. And you're right, you could get even if you just need rotational pass rush help, like the Eagles maybe get the Jets guy whose name I already forgot.
So like that's what with
Sorry
Nolan
to this
Smith
man.
coming back and like things looking better, that kind of is the consensus is like maybe they move off the edge need and they go for a corner. Reek Woolen is like a good outside corner who has fallen out of favor in Seattle, but is still productive. But I don't know, watching this team and watching their pass rush all year, like I think they need an every down guy. They need a guy who's going to be out there like 60, 70% of the snaps. Like they could really use a Jermaine Johnson, a Bradley Chubb, a Jalen Phillips. Like I think that they need to make the move, not only for depth, but like Nolan Smith is very good in ascending. Jalix Hunt is definitely, former Ivy League safety Jalix Hunt
Ugh.
um, is a freak athlete, and he has taken like not the next full step this year, but a half step up. Like he's playing really well. Um, but Nolan Smith is hurt. Jalix Hunt has a lot of room to grow. I think you need like a reliable guy in that defense that can get home and close the gap quicker than some of these guys can. Like just because Nolan Smith is coming back doesn't mean he's going to be healthy for the rest of the year and the playoffs. Like he's undersized edge rusher, built more like a linebacker, but he's a hand in the dirt edge. And he plays like he's not a speed rusher. His style is very much power rush. And you have seen that take a toll on his body. He has been injured the last 2 years. Um, and while I love his play style, I love his tenacity, he's very strong. He's a guy that can go one on one with a tackle and win with brute strength, but it's beating his body up. And like he's not somebody I trust. Like if we're making a playoff run to be healthy for all of those games and like play a high number of snaps. That's why I think you need more than a situational or a rotational guy. Like you need a three down rusher in Philly.
Well, just to put a bow on the trade discussion because
But
I
I
want
got
to
a
get
couple
the
more guys. Could I mention real quick?
oh yeah go ahead.
There are a couple guys I want to mention real quick. So Saints, they're definitely going to be sellers. I don't think they should have benched Spencer Rattler. Definitely not for Tanner Shuck. I think that was
That was
weird.
weird. That was
Um,
Jigs.
but I think that they move off either Rashid Shaheed or Chris Olave or maybe both. Olave has the concussion history. He's banged up a lot, but if you I know he has been like kind of linked with Buffalo a lot. He would be like the perfect receiver for Buffalo, the way they run their passing offense. Um, I would
Did
love
you
to
see
watch him
the
play.
Did you see the video of the like Saints fan made like a diss track of the team, like
No, it's incredible though.
complaining about the team?
Can you
one
play a
thing,
sample? Do you
one of
like
when I
edit that in?
when I edit the episode, yeah, I'll play a sample of because one of the lines is
Chris Olave always hurt. He be getting his shit smacked. No, we should have got Shadur, but we got a white ass quarterback. We
I
in the
think those guys
sorry.
both move. The Steelers probably need to add a pass catcher. They have a lot of like big possession guys. Rashid Shaheed would be like an amazing field stretching receiver for them. Tomlin loves a smaller field stretching receiver. If you look back at his history, the way he constructs a roster, I have Brees Hall on my list. I think that the Jets probably move off Brees Hall. He has 1 year left on his rookie deal. Um, he is playing very well this year. The Jets aren't going anywhere. A team that needs help on the ground, like the Cowboys or the Chiefs, like
no
imagine
God,
him. I would hate to
Jesus,
see this, but him and that Chiefs offense would like, holy shit, that'd be so good.
that
It
would
would
feed
suck.
families.
It would suck if you're like a person with like values and morals and you want to see justice in the world, but just like objectively from like a football view, it would be very sick to see. Then I have some quarterbacks. I wanted to talk quarterbacks really quick because Minnesota does need a quarterback. Like we mentioned, Kevin O'Connell hung Carson out to dry, basically was the Pontius
Disgusting.
Pilate and had him crucified like Jesus. I think that that's a fair thing to say that Carson Wentz is a modern day Jesus Christ.
Totally fair.
Um,
Next
I think it's
point.
very fair. Um, so I have a list of quarterbacks I think would be interesting to see moved. Um, in no specific order, but Kirko Chains, I think the contract makes it hard, but it is an obvious fit because of um, his history with that team. He knows the team, he knows the system. He'd be very good in that Kevin O'Connell offense. I have Jameis and Russ. Both of those guys are good trade candidates. If I'm the Vikings, if I'm a Vikings fan, I probably want to see Jameis over Russ just because we have a more recent sample size of him being a more dynamic player. But then again, like kind of a bumbling cartoon character and sex criminal. Um, Russ still, though, I know he can't move like he used to. He's 36. He still throws arguably the best deep ball in the league besides Aaron Rodgers. Um, I don't know. I think you could argue that Russ's deep ball is better than Aaron Rodgers, but just like imagine him throwing to those guys in Minnesota. That would be fucking awesome. Um, that small sample size we got in New York of him throwing to like neighbors and Wandale Robinson, just absolutely putting these bombs up and then making these contested catches or beating coverage. Like you can do that all day with Addison and Justin Jefferson. That would be very sick to see. And then this is a fun one, interesting one. Anthony Richardson. I do think Anthony
Oh,
Richardson gets moved. Daniel Jones is the
wow.
GOAT of doofus quarterbacks. I love him. I created him. I'm his dad. He is my sweet boy. Um, I think that they could move off
He's just
Anthony
a baby.
Richardson. Um, Rams seem like a team that would really like him. McVay loves a a freaky player like that and would want to work with a quarterback. Um, but what about Minnesota, right? What if you just say fuck it and bring Anthony Richardson in and you have Kevin O'Connell work with him? He's the quarterback whisperer. I mean,
Man.
I feel like he has lost a little bit of like the public opinion about him that has developed because like he had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on that team. I don't know whose decision it
Desmond
was,
Ritter was
whether
on
if
this team earlier this season too. Remember, he got released after the London
who
game.
was.
Desmond Ritter was on the Vikings
Ugh,
this season.
man, that guy sucks. I don't remember that. That's how like forgettable he is to me. He's great at Cincy though. Um, but instead of I feel like KOC and the Vikings flew very close to the sun, had their wings melt, because they had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on this roster last year. Both of those guys are Pro Bowl level. Daniel Jones is a legitimate MVP candidate this year. Like he keeps proving it week after week. It's going to get to a point in a couple more weeks where we're like, yeah, Daniel Jones MVP. Like he's going to get votes, and then if he keeps it up, it's going to be like, no, Daniel Jones is the MVP. It's crazy. Sam Darnold is being very productive in Seattle. Um, so what if you bring in Anthony Richardson and see what KOC can do, right? They have a decent enough line. They have great skill positions there. Maybe he can work with the guy, get some of that dynamic athleticism out of him. You run maybe some RPO stuff. You coach him up a little bit. You're calling plays directly into the headset, working with him. Um, Maybe there's hope there. Maybe you get him in the right situation. Um, he shows, he had signs of being a very capable and productive quarterback at times in Indianapolis. Maybe you get him into that situation with elite level talent around him and he thrives. And he would be a low cost addition.
I think for the Vikings, something to keep in mind too is that that offensive line actually really has not been performing all that well. So somebody like Kirk and Russ, I mean, it's there's going to be a it's going to all of these choices are going to be a gamble and a long shot. It's going to feel like,
Mhm.
but the pros and cons of them is like, someone like Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins. I'm not sure that offensive line gives them really enough time to be the
Yeah.
effective versions
Okay.
of themselves. Even though Kirk does understand the system, but like, do you really want Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson taking all the abuse that we've seen all Vikings quarterbacks take this year?
Fair.
And so there's that. So then you might want to go with someone like Jameis, who's a little more athletic and can get out of the way of some of those rushes. But of
Yeah,
course,
he's still young enough to move.
he's dumb as rocks, and his
Oh,
face is
so
shaved.
dumb.
And
He would love Minnesota though, because he's like really friendly and stupid, and like people in Minnesota are friendly and stupid.
And then
No
Anthony
offense.
Richardson's kind of the wild card. He's kind of like, that would be the ultimate, like, I don't know, fuck
Right.
it, let's see what happens move.
Yeah,
like,
fuck
like
it.
Kevin O'Connell, are you really the QB whisperer type
Let's
shit.
see.
So
Yeah, prove it.
I'm almost kind of rooting for that. That would be really ridiculous.
That would be
Also,
fun.
imagining him in the same room as JJ McCarthy and them having to hang out and talk about stuff is pretty funny.
I would like that is kind of what I'm pulling for, and it would also be cool. I like Anthony Richardson. Um, I wanted him to do well. I wanted him to, kind of beat the allegations that he wasn't ready and to be this complete outlier when it comes to just raw talent and ability. So it would be very cool to see him come in there and make plays in Minnesota, and maybe they go on a little playoff push. The North feels wide open still with the Bears losing. Um, the Packers last week, like they played with their food a little bit, right? They played down to competition a lot. They barely beat the Cardinals, but last week they really were able to take a very competitive and good Steelers team to task and, put their foot on the throat and control that game in the second half. But still, I feel like you never know what Packers team you're going to get. You never know what Jordan Love is going to show up. LaFleur can like outsmart himself sometimes with the play calling too. So I don't, in my opinion, the North is still wide open and there's so much talent on that offense. The defense is another story, right? The defense has been underperforming. But there's there for it to be very good and effective if you can control the ball and move the ball. Um, I think it's not going to happen, and it would be objectively dumb for them to do that. Like you want to probably bring in more of a safer bet, but I would absolutely love to see Richardson come in there and like have like a Baker Mayfield type of the Rams season he had, where like he came in and he was leading game winning drives, and people had given up on him, and he definitely rehabilitated his image in a system run by Sean McVay, and KOC is of course a Sean McVay guy. So you never know.
The other thing to think about with this is what do the Vikings really think they can accomplish with this season? Like, do they think they can like make the playoffs? Do they think they can win the Super Bowl? Like they're 3-4. Their quarterback situation is completely fucked. You're kind of wasting Justin Jefferson's prime. This defense isn't living up to what it was supposed to be. The offensive line's not very good. The pass rush isn't very good. Like, they think they just like bring it all to. They think bringing Anthony Richardson or Russell Wilson is going to just like make everyone suddenly be good. I don't know.
I think with the talent that they have and the coaching that they have, if they can get a wild card spot, if they get a playoff berth, I think that they think they could be a sneaky team. And I have no reason to necessarily disagree with that. Like if they can pull it together and get consistent and competent quarterback play and kind of get that offense firing on all cylinders and controlling the ball, yeah, why not? Why couldn't they be a dangerous team that goes on a playoff run? All they have to do is get in.
Well, I'm not.
Look at the 2017 Eagles, man. Everyone
Yeah.
wrote them off with Nick Foles, and they get in after losing Carson Wentz, who's having an MVP season, and he goes on a legendary run. Look at Joe Flacco in like 2011, 2012 with the Ravens, legendary run. Like it happens. Um, and we've seen more parity than in recent memory in the NFL this year too, right? Like
True.
it truly does feel that there's more of an any given Sunday vibe
It's wide open.
in the league this year. The Chiefs are vulnerable. All these like elite teams that are like legitimate competitors, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Eagles, um, even like the Ravens are I've shown nothing but being vulnerable and inconsistent. So yeah, like who's to say that they can't make some noise if they can get in? And I think that they need to make moves. Like they should be buyers, not sellers, especially they have to do something at quarterback. Even if they go back with JJ McCarthy, um, they need depth behind him. And also, it's weird that like all offseason they were singing McCarthy's praises. They don't
Yeah.
re-sign Darnold. They don't retain Jones because JJ McCarthy is the guy. And now it feels like they're making a million excuses about not getting him back into the lineup. Um,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, we want to. He's injured. He's injured. I know he's dressing for games. He's on the active roster, but you're not playing him. Maybe he wasn't really KOC's guy. Maybe KOC is run scared a little bit. I don't know, but we'll see. They have to
And
do something though.
poor Max Brosmer. He's sitting there like, well, what about me? Why can't I?
Well, I don't know.
Why can't I
Maybe
do
Max
it?
Brosmer gets his shot and is the guy. That would be cool. We've seen crazier things happen. I remember. I remember when the 199th pick went in for an injured Drew Bledsoe, and the rest is history. And now he's like doing like weird financial crimes, probably with like gross Republicans.
Yeah, now he's getting embezzled into a crypto scheme.
Yeah, and he didn't have to sell
for a penny.
insurance. Thank God. I would have cried if I had to sell insurance too. But I don't know. You
All
want to pick
right,
them?
let's pick him.
Okay.
And it starts this week 9. The halfway point of the season will be over when this week is over. With tonight, the Thursday night football matchup, a couple AFC
Awful matchup.
would-be contenders, maybe. Baltimore Ravens travel down to South Beach to Hard Rock Stadium, take on the Dolphins. And I got the oh, excuse me. Ravens are favored by 7.5. The over-under is 51.
Ooh.
Um,
Who's
Yeah,
playing?
this
Is
game is
Lamar
this
actually
game.
going to play, or is it
This game
is
is
it
gonna
Huntley
suck.
again?
I don't know what to believe. I mean, they're saying Lamar, I think, is going to play.
They can't lie again, or they'll like be in serious trouble. Is
How cool would it be
Lamar?
if they just fucking lie again?
You would have like, yeah, he died actually. He's
Yeah,
dead. So
he's
just kidding.
he's with his wife, his girlfriend, or something.
Sir, I
He's
didn't
busy.
know it was against the rules for me to lie.
Oh, sorry that a football coach got a little bit confused and he's trying to help his best friend
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I
get
have
to the
CTE.
opera on
Okay.
time. Yeah, fuck this game. I don't think I might not even
Ravens.
watch this stupid shit.
Oh,
Taking
I'm
the
not. There's
Ravens.
no. I'm not watching a single second of this game. I will not demean. I'm going to have a nice night with my family. I'm training for a half marathon in 2 weeks. So I'm going to go do my little like recovery run. I ran 10 last night. I'm going to try to do 5 tonight. If I do 7, I get 150 miles for the month though. So I might push it to 7. Um, but yeah, I'm not watching this shit. There's no way. You could text me, like our group chat could blow up and be like, "Hey, this game is crazy. It's going back and forth. I want to turn it on." For what reason am I watching that? Missing time in my daughter's life to watch that? Absolutely not.
All right, then the noon games. We've got the Chicago Bears traveling to Cincinnati to take on the scary Halloween-themed Cincinnati Bengals.
Ooh, spooky tiger, spooky kitty. I'm gonna go Bears. I think that they bounce back. They kind of got embarrassed last week, lost big to a backup quarterback after being lied to and preparing for another quarterback. But yeah, just like you said, the mental mistakes, they got taken to task a little bit. They're embarrassed. Um, we've seen this all year with Caleb. He makes some mistakes, then he answers. So this is his week to answer. 290-yard game inbound, 4 tutties. Let's go Bears.
Yeah, last week's game was very disappointing. Mary and her family were all worried about it, and I was being Mr. Positive. Even throughout the game, I was like, come on, like this Ravens team doesn't know how to close games, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, they kind of just blew it. But in my defense, some of the Bears games these past few weeks have looked ugly for a long time, and then they just pull out a win. So
Yeah,
kind
right
of
out of their
surprising.
ass.
Pull it right out of their little bare assholes.
Oh yeah,
But
they're tight little
I
assholes.
I do expect them to bounce back in this one. I really hope they can get the penalty stuff cut down and not lose to this very bad and confusing, stupid Bengals team. So yeah, I'm going Bears too.
Cool. Yeah, go
Um,
Bears.
and I just want to, just for organization's sake, want to say that the Bears are 2.5-point favorites. I'm looking at Pro Football Reference, so I don't know how connected to gambling this website is, but and the over
I'm looking
under.
at DraftKings. I'm going to check the spread on DraftKings because you should gamble. But make sure
Gamble.
you do it responsibly, okay?
Yeah,
Please.
take every last little cent of your fucking
Yeah,
life we're
waste
gonna
your
squeeze
family's
out of
money on
you.
football, but do it responsibly.
Thank you.
And here's a guy in a suit that's going to tell you something that won't happen, but he'll sell it real hard, so you believe it. Thanks,
Next
Stuart
is
Scott.
Vikings at Lions.
Ooh, oh
We just
my,
spent a lot of
Lions.
time talking shit
Um,
about the Vikings, so
who's
kind of got
playing McCarthy or Brosmer? I don't know. The Lions are looking really good. I again was wrong about them. Um, they look like a very complete team right now. Um, this running game is just getting started. Jameer Gibbs might be the best running back in the league. Lions.
Yeah, I'm going Lions too. Lions are favored by 9. Over under 47.5 from Ford Field.
Oh,
Next, Panthers at Packers down in Lambeau, up in Lambeau, I should say. Packers are
up in
13
Lambone.
favorites. Lamboner, Canales versus LaFleur, battle of the boys.
I'm
Yeah,
going Packers.
gotta take the Pack in this one. I think
Got to take the
Bryce
Packers.
Young missed last week. I do think he's coming back to play in this one, but still,
Yeah, I'm choosing the Green Bay Davids.
Green Bay Davids. Sorry, I just gotta type our picks. I gotta keep track.
GBD.
Both going Pack.
Pack. Pack attack. The pack is
Pack
back.
attack. Okay. A very interesting matchup. Denver Broncos at Houston Texans. Texans are
Ooh,
favored by
Broncos.
1. And the over-under is
Broncos.
40. Oh, it's way down there.
Broncos.
Yeah,
No question, Broncos. Next team, please.
I've picked against the Broncos the past few weeks, and I think I gotta start trusting my boys a little bit more, dude.
Trust your boys, dude. You talked me into
low...
trusting my boys, so this is me talking you into trusting yours. You deserve it. And it's,
Yeah,
dude, it's the fucking Texans.
I'm trusting my boys, and this is another, the Broncos are going to be facing probably one of the best defenses they're going to face all year. Texans are no joke, but they have a chance to really snap them in half. And this will be a big test for the offensive line. I'm really interested to see how the Broncos offensive line holds up against the Texans D-line, which is fire. So yeah, go Broncos, country, let's ride.
Broncos, that's right.
Super Bowl 51 rematch, Falcons at Patriots. For the Pats are favored by 5. Over under is 45.
Pats, man. The Pats are kind of becoming a darling team again. I'm starting to like Drake May. I like Vrabel as a coach. I like the way they play ball. They're just a physical team. They're just a physical, disciplined football team. They probably need to add a pass catcher, but I'm going Pats. Pats are going to win the East. It's crazy.
Getting harder and harder to pick against the Patriots every week because they just are proving to be really good. Drake May is extremely accurate and effective with the deep ball, and that's just like
he's a good quarterback, man. Even
if you have Myles Garrett and you get 5 sacks, he's still gonna fucking drop a dime on your little ass. So yeah, I'm going Pats too. Hate to say it.
Right on your little tiny ass.
Niners at Giants. The 5-3 Niners taking on the 2-6 Giants. Who we forgot to mention Cam Scott, who was really bad.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Real shame about that.
Never want to see that happen. But what I will say is it could have happened to a less annoying person. But I hope he gets well soon and is back playing because football is more fun with the guys like him playing, even though he's kind of like a Republican MAGA doofus. Not kinda, he is, but I'm gonna have to go with drum roll, please. The Niners.
49ers. Yeah, me too. Another team that's getting pretty hard to pick against, even though they have a bunch of injuries. And
I know it's crazy. It's just the best coaching, like the best regular season coach in the history of football.
They just always have some guy that just steps up. And Christian McCaffrey quietly, I think, has like the second most touches or receptions in the
he's
league.
leading the league in scrimmage yards right now.
Oh, I wanted to mention too. I forgot during the Broncos game, J.K. Dobbins sneaky, the third leading rusher in the league.
Oh yeah, I saw something where he's like, yeah, I think I was just made to be a Bronco, and like that fired me up.
That's sick, man. He did an interview in
Um,
Spanish after the game because he's like from like South Texas.
That's it.
He's a cool guy, dude. The Broncos run game is pretty a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Chargers at Titans. Chargers are 9.5 favorites. This one should not be an issue for the Chargers. This would be a
I'm going Chargers. I hope that Quentin Johnston has a big week this week because I have to start him because I have some receivers on bye. He has been quiet. He got hurt and then has like kind of fallen out of favor with Madison Beer's boyfriend, unfortunately. So hopefully he starts getting the ball more. I don't want to have to hear Lad McConkey's name on a call. That is such a like a little boy in a sailor suit with a big swirly lollipop ass name.
Yeah,
maybe you're some lad. What's wrong with you? But yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers.
I'm a Quentin Johnston guy owner too, and he's really surprising to see him give him a big old fucking 0 in the game. He wasn't injured, nothing was wrong with him. They just were like, you know what? We're actually gonna score like 38 points without you, bro. So,
how about this Q? Fuck you.
Fuck you. How about that?
Oh, that was good, dude. Dude, that was good.
Okay, this is actually a pretty scintillating matchup. The Colts, 7-1 Colts, traveling to the hills of Pittsburgh to take on the 4-3 Steelers in Acrisure. Colts are 3.5 road favorites, I should say.
Okay. Colts Steelers, that's a fun game. That's like a throwback. That's like a 2006 game of the week. I love that. I'm going Colts though, man. Danny Dimes cannot be wrong. It is time for the Steelers' inevitable mid to late season collapse to begin. So let's go Colts.
Yeah,
Colts,
let's go.
Let's ride.
Dude. Let's the Mike Tomlin press conferences are going to get increasingly anxiety ridden. I'd like to. Colts have a chance to drop a fucking 50 burger on this shitty defense. So let's get that going.
Dude. Jonathan Taylor, like it'd be so cool if he won MVP. Like I know it's like a quarterback award now or whatever, which I think is stupid. I will never argue in favor of that. But like, I don't know. We've seen so many good running back performances over the last couple years, and then like I don't know. I feel like these like elite running back. Like Saquon should have been MVP last year with the season that he had. So maybe there's an overcorrection.
And, like, Mahomes won MVP last year.
No, Josh Allen.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe we see like an overcorrection and like, you know, they're the number 1 seed in the AFC and Jonathan Taylor has close to 2,000 rushing yards and gets the MVP because like I'm sick of watching. You just name the award best quarterback. Like it sucks. Like I don't care. Like just I don't know. Go Colts.
It's the ultimate team game. Yeah, Colts. Fuck the Steelers. Now the afternoon games have begun. Afternoon delight. The 4-3 Jacksonville Jaguars go to the desert to play the 2-5 Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. Jaguars are 3-point favorites. Over under 44.5. I want to believe in the Jaguars in this one, but I feel like this is I don't know. Jaguars have weird vibes. It's not exactly like overly positive. It feels like for them right
Cursed vibes, if you will. They are not aura farming.
No.
I don't know what that means, but
they're not doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jags. I think they're a more competent franchise in this matchup, and for that reason, I'm picking them.
I'm going with the Raiders.
What say you?
I gotta pick one upset every week, and the Jags have.
You keep doing this with the Raiders, though. You got to stop. Pick another team to make an upset. I don't want to see you hurt.
Okay, I'm changing my pick. I'm officially changing this. I'm allowed to do this. I'm the one that types it.
And
Jags.
You're allowed to take me to task if the Raiders do upset them. You can blame it on me.
No,
like you can give if the Raiders upset them, I'll take 2 losses, or I'll take your loss.
I'll be more upset at the Raiders. I'll never be more upset at you than at the Raiders.
Thank you.
Saints, the 1-7 Saints with led by Tyler Shuck, will go to the well, that's not the Coliseum anymore. Jesus, I love the Coliseum. It's SoFi. 5-2 Rams at home. Rams are 13.5-point favorites.
Oh yeah, go Rams. It's
Over and
Rams.
unders 44. Yeah,
They,
really
they
not
may
a
not
lot of
even
tough.
play Chris Olave because we're gonna trade him, like how they do in the NBA. Like when they just bench a guy because it's like, yeah, you're not gonna be here. We don't want to hurt you. You're on the set at this point.
We don't want to hurt you.
You're a non-fungible token. Remember when NFTs? Hey, how many bored apes do you have? I just got
Sponge.
one. I only
Sponge.
spent like $1,100 on it.
You just got one?
Yeah, well, I
Good.
finally got my tax return and I got a bored ape. He's wearing a little Eagles hat. It's cute.
Hey,
My
hang on to
family's
that,
really
dude.
hungry.
The value can
My
only go
family is
up.
starving. Oh, it will.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's like a picture that it's like art. It's like investing in art.
Yeah, it's a file pretty much that everyone
I
can.
own it. Yeah, it's a file that I own. It's on my hard drive.
Um,
But do not look at my hard drive.
It's a memory you can that will last forever. This is probably going to be the best game of the day. 5-3 Kansas City Chiefs, who look like they're the best team in the conference, going up to Buffalo to take on the 5-2 Buffalo Bills.
Let's
Chiefs
go
are
Bills.
2.5
I'm picking the
favorites.
Bills.
Chiefs are 2-point favorites. Over under is 52.5.
Bills.
Yeah, I'm going Bills too.
I'm going for the Williams.
The Willies.
The Willies. I got the Willies, buddy.
Yeah, I need the Chiefs to really get taken down a notch. I need the Bills need to get a win against a good team. They beat the Panthers last week without Bryce Young. Like, great. This will be a real test. Sunday night game. Seahawks 5-2 Seahawks at 3-5 Commanders. Seahawks are 3-point favorites. Over unders 48. Gotta go see it. Really, not a lot of hard decisions in the picks this week, frankly. Seahawks should easily win this game, right?
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks too.
Commanders are.
Yeah, well, the Commanders keep getting primetime games, and like it's very annoying because who would have seen this like fall off coming? I don't know, me.
They're gonna start getting flexed out, or they're gonna be in a strongly worded letter from me. Now it's time for the bright primetime lights of the Monday night game. Your beloved Arizona Cardinals, who are 2-5, taking on the Dallas Cowboys with 3 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. Cowboys are 2.5-point favorites. Over under 53.5. Who's starting in this for the Cardinals? Murray or
I think Kyler's starting again. I think.
boy.
I don't really know. I don't care. I just don't pay attention anymore. Sometimes I'll fall asleep with a podcast on, and this Cardinals podcast comes on. It puts me in a bad mood. I'm obviously gonna have to pick the Cowboys, unfortunately. And
Oh no, really?
that's all I have to say. Yeah, and I hate saying that, and I'm not gonna say anything else. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm picking the Cardinals. Don't disappoint me. Fuck
I'm
it.
picking
That's
the
my upset
Cardinals
of the week.
too.
That's my Van Heusen upset of the week. That's my prime energy upset of the week.
All right, the picks are in. Do you want to real quick tell us about your new running persona on Instagram?
Yeah. So
you're
I
getting
have
into long distance running. It's very cool.
Yeah, I have been into long distance running for quite some time now, but like a real G, I was moving in silence like a lasagna, and not really posting about it. But yeah, I ran a half marathon last Sunday. This most recent Sunday that's behind us. And I did pretty well. It was my first like official race. I've done other distance races that are like I organized with friends and stuff because I never took it that seriously, but I wanted to kind of see how I did against real people, other people. And I did pretty well. And so now I have like made a page online because I want to keep running races and try to be as competitive as I can. And I hope that I can amass a following that's big enough for a company to send me free shoes because they're expensive. That's all I want out of this is some free shoes. So
Give him some free shoes.
I'm just posting dumb running content and kind of making fun of the idea of run influencers, and like how like kind of vapid and dumb they are. But it's on Instagram at Jakey Runs Worldwide. JAKEY runs RUNS worldwide. Jakey runs worldwide. So you can give me a
Worldwide.
follow and put me on mute. I don't care. Just gonna be posting like training stuff and like dumb like comedy sketches that I would have done back in my stand-up days that are just kind of focused around running. But yeah, that's my little hobby now. I'm filling my creative void and staying healthy at the same time. Got another marathon coming up, so I'll be pumping out some tent. Um, yeah, and come along, follow my journey. Let me inspire you. I'm really
Follow
altruistic. I'm an
Jacob on
angel.
his road to health, and
Yeah,
on a real actual road that he's running on. You can follow
on an
him.
actual road,
Also,
and people are driving by yelling all sorts of like awful things at me because I live in
slurs.
Glendale. But that's okay. That's fine.
Give him a
I don't
follow,
care.
folks. We're so proud of him here on the program. He inspires us all to not
So
just love
inspiring.
ball, but to hit the pavement, pound the pavement, and
You got to pound the pavement.
improve yourself, and all the while making content. That is our episode for this week, folks. We hope you have a good week 9 and a good holiday, which is Halloween, and
Yeah, enjoy
just a
Halloween.
good
Happy
rest of your
Halloween.
life.
I hope you get some good treats. No tricks.
Trick or treat, only treats. Signing off for Jake the Snake. This is Tony Ballgame. For takeaways, folks. I love you.
Bye.